You're not a boxing fan if you're a fan of Deontay Wilder over Dillian Whyte. Knuckleheads, welcome to the Fighters Rep, where we give you free fights, interviews in the fight game, and fight commentary from the mind of a promoter. You're not a boxing fan. You're not. If you're a fan of Deontay Wilder over Dillian Whyte, you're not a fan of boxing. You're a fan of Deontay Wilder. And you need to check yourself, and you need to check your man card. Now, let me explain for you why I feel that if you're a fan of Deontay Wilder over Dillian Whyte, then you're not a boxing fan. Deontay Wilder is a guy who has over 40 fights. And in his 29th fight, do you know who Deontay Wilder fought? Sergey Liakhovich. That's who Deontay Wilder fought. In his 29th fight, Deontay Wilder fought Sergey Liakhovich. And in his 29th fight, Dillian Whyte fought former world champion, gold medalist in the Olympics, Alexander Povetkin. Man, there's levels to this manliness. Man, there's levels to manhood. There's levels to manhood. In his 17th fight, Dillian Whyte fought Anthony Joshua. In his 17th fight, Deontay Wilder fought Damon Reed at the Tuscaloosa Amphitheater. Let me repeat that, man. Let me just make sure what I'm saying here is getting through, because a lot of you are looking for somebody that's going to pander to you for the way that you look, for the state or the country that you're from, for whatever race you are. You're looking for somebody to pander to you. I don't give a... Listen, I don't care where you're from. You're a bag of meat and a bag of shit to me. I judge you by your character. I judge you by your character. You're a bag of meat and a bag of shit to me. And that bag of meat and shit either acts like a man or acts like a punk. There's no two ways about it. There's no ways beyond that. In his 17th fight, he fought Damon Reed at the Tuscaloosa Amphitheater. In his 17th fight, Dillian Whyte was fighting Anthony Joshua, one of the best heavyweights in the world. There are levels to this manhood. There are levels to your bias. If you are celebrating the knockout of Dillian Whyte, a guy who in 29 fights has challenged himself 10 times more than Deontay Wilder has in a career of over 40 fights, then you're not a fan of boxing. You are a fan of Deontay Wilder. You're a fanboy. You're a fangirl or a fanboy or a fangirl. That's what you are. Because if you were a fan of boxing, you'd be sick and tired of the A-side versus B-side matches, of the manufactured tomato can assembly line that they place in front of these artificial champions. These artificial champions, they're artificial like sucralose, man. You'd be sick of that assembly line of tomato cans. You would never want to eat tomato sauce again in your life. But you're not a fan of boxing. You're a fan of the guy, like my children, because of the way he looks. or where he's from or the goofy ass outfit he's got on. Because if you were a fan of boxing, you'd be a fan of the guy that got into the sport late, really late, that challenged himself every time, that fights the best guys available, that calls everybody out. You wouldn't be upset at Dillian Whyte for calling out Deontay Wilder. You'd say, this guy has some big balls. He wants to fight the best guys all the time. You wouldn't be a fan of this manufactured bullshit. You've been exposed. There are thousands of you on here looking to get pandered to, looking to have your ego stroked because the truth doesn't feel good for you. These dudes out in the UK, I'm ashamed to say it, I'm an American fight fan. I'm an American. These dudes out in the UK, their balls are 10 times bigger than the balls of our heavyweights out here in the United States. You got Andy Ruiz about to fight Cristobal Arreola, man. Much respect to Arreola, but you cannot be a man, a solid man, an objective man, a man who calls right from wrong, and pick Deontay Wilder over Dillian Whyte and say you're a boxing fan. You are not. You are a Deontay Wilder fan if you enjoyed Dillian Whyte get knocked out and you think he's better for boxing than Dillian Whyte is. I said it, and I'm standing on that shit in this channel. If you don't like it, tell me what you think. If you agree with me, let me know what you think. But I've said my piece on this issue. I'm so sick and tired of going on these boxing channels that are pandering to people because of their race or where they're from or whatever. None of that bullshit matters. A man is a man, and you can't fool me. You can't fool me. Because I'm solid. I don't care where you're from. I don't care what you look like. I never cared. I never cared because I'm solid. Leave your comments below. Hit the subscribe button, the bell notification icon next to it. If you don't like my opinion, that's fine. I don't care if you disagree with me. I care about expressing myself and the truth the way I see it. I'm not here to pander to you. I'm not beholden to you. I'm not beholden to any of these big corporations or anything to spout BS on my channel. Hit the subscribe button, the bell notification icon next to it. Join Knucklehead Nation. Man the hell up. Man or woman the hell up. If you're a boxing fan. And get your Fighters Rep gear, shirts, hoodies, tanks, masks in the link below. Because if not, and it's readily apparent that a lot of you don't know shit about fighting. But get your stuff. Join Knucklehead Nation. We'll talk soon.